Good evening and welcome to TalkSports, our weekly program where we speak with the movers and shakers of sports, the sportsmen, sportswomen, coaches, administrators, everyone involved in sports. On today's program, this evening's program, we'll be looking at West Indies cricket, the women's and the men. They're all in action. In fact, the women begin a series against South Africa. It's an ODI series, a one-day international. In fact, it's a four-match one-day international series against South Africa in Johannesburg tomorrow, Friday, and we'll hear from Captain Stafanie Taylor. Well, as you know, Grenada's Afi Fletcher is back in the team after maternity leave, and we'll hear all about that. Just to give you a tidbit of what's coming up. Also, we will be hearing from Rovman Powell, the West Indies batsman. He was on fire yesterday, yeah, and then Coach Phil Simmons as well. As the West Indies men's, they're looking to wrap up a series win against a historic series win, I should say, against England in Barbados before they go on and take on India, in a three-match series, and then back to the Caribbean for the Test series, against England. We know the final Test match will be played in Grenada in late March. Well, that's what you can tell you. So, we'll hear more about the West Indies men and that victory against England at Kensington Oval last evening. But the women, let's focus a little on the women. The West Indies women will start their four-match one-day international series against South Africa women at the Imperial Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg on Friday, while Captain Stafanie Taylor has marshaled her troops to focus on two main areas, consistency and aggression. Well, Taylor is a very aggressive player. Two elements she believes were missing the last time the teams met in September last year in Antigua. The South African women drew the T20 International Series 1-1 and won the ODI Series 4-1. This time around, Taylor is more confident the team can perform better in bouldering. So we'll hear first from Stafanie Taylor.
Welcome to the pre-series press conference with West Indies women's captain Stafanie Taylor. You will have 10 minutes with Stafanie, so you can direct your questions. Please raise your hands, and we'll go in the order in which hands are raised. Okay, Ryan, go ahead. You first.
Yes, good morning, Stefani. Just looking ahead to the series against South Africa, can you just give me an update on your team and if you have any injuries or how you're going into this opening match?
No, we don't have any injuries right now, and yeah, it's we're pretty confident. We have the last training session before the game tomorrow, and yeah, I think for us it's more like trying to take things at a time. So first game is tomorrow. Try to focus on that, and on to the next one.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, as skipper, what would you like out of this series, given these positive performances you guys had last year, and then you're kind of sandwiching between last year and a World Cup. So anything specific you're looking for?
Just repeat the first part. You said our performances from.
Last year from Pakistan, from the South Africa series here at home. Some pretty positive performances here at home. And now you're heading to a World Cup right after this tournament. So any
Well, we had a really good series against Pakistan in Pakistan. We didn't do so well, against South Africa back home. Couple players did well, that's a plus, and we tried to take those positives. Yeah, we're in South Africa's backyard, and we know it's not going to be an easy one. But the good thing is, they have a couple of their main players also. Hopefully that could, turn for us. With saying that, we know that they still have good batters, capable players who, could definitely turn the switch. So we just have to be on our toes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ryan. We'll go to Gumesh, and after Gumesh, we'll go to Karen. So Gumesh, you're up next.
Hi, Stefanie. Could you please tell us what are the takeaways that you had from the warm-up game that you played?
He wants to know what are the takeaways you have from the warm-up game that we played.
The warm-up game was to pretty much get acclimatized to the condition and the pitch. I find the pitch was really good. I think for us, we were just trying to focus on what we want to do. We were pretty pleased, even though we didn't get the target that we wanted, but we could see improvement, especially with the batters, and then we find that the bowlers were really good.
After the Pakistan series, you have found us that in the top six batting order. Is that something that you want to stick to moving ahead in the lead up to the World Cup, giving the maximum game time in a specific batting position?
He said something about
He
it.
said, after the Pakistan series, we kind of find a top six that was scoring runs. Are you satisfied with the top six going forward into the World Cup?
We're not looking at the World Cup as yet. We're trying to focus on here. Obviously, World Cup is the next big step, but the batters are batting really well, and hopefully if they continue, they definitely be the top six.
Thank you.
Karen, you're up next.
Okay, more thanks, Naz. Well, good afternoon. I think it is there now. Stafanie, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, great. All right, so just to go back to something that Coach Walsh had told us a couple of days ago in terms of getting a consistent 230 runs with the top order contributing, a significant there. Are you confident that you'll be able to, the team that is, will be able to put together the 230 that Coach Walsh is asking of you, and how confident are you that the top order especially can contribute massively to that? That's one. And after you answer that, then I'll ask my next question.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. I think for us is more consistency. I think this coaching staff that we have is, kind of breaking things down. Some of the things that we didn't know from, back then or how long we've been playing. And to see where we're at now, it's quite good. I think it's a reflection for all of us, for us to do better as batters and even bowlers and even as a team. So I think that's something that we're trying to focus on. We know that we're at a 230, so we're trying to make sure that we consistently hit the 230 mark and then move from there.
Okay, cool. My next question. I know you said that much about the World Cup, but that's just a month away or so. The qualifiers were aborted, of course, because of COVID. Are you confident that you are mentally and physically ready, or do you still feel that you would have been impacted by the qualifiers being cut short? And also, while you're at that, what's the weather like? Have you been able to train? I've seen some reports that it's cold. How are you managing with the team managing with that?
I think the team is managing pretty well. The weather is not too bad. It's haven't really impacted us in any kind of way or shape. I know we had some rain last night, but we're out today for training under the lights. So it's quite good. I think in the night it's a bit chilly, but nothing I think we can't handle. Yeah, we're a bit disappointed with the qualifiers cutting short. The plans that we had, going into that qualifiers, was really good. We only get to play just a couple of games, but we have 5 games here. We played a practice match, and we have 4 games, so that should put us in good stead, preparing for the World Cup.
All right, Stafanie, thanks, and all the best to you and the team.
Thanks.
Ananya, you can go ahead, and then after that, we'll take 2 more questions from anybody else who's present, because obviously Ms. Taylor has training. So Ananya, you can go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, Stafanie.
Hi.
Can you just tell us a bit about the return of Stafanie Taylor? I mean, what she brings to the group as a senior spinner, and how she balances the attack that you have, because it's full of off spinners.
Afi is the difference. We missed Afi, and know that she's back. We still have to, take our time with her, because, after being out for such a long time, she's now getting back into that groove. So we don't want to put any additional pressure on her, and just let her focus on herself and, taking her time to get back. But we're quite happy that she's back, because we know, what she brings to the table, and what, the amount of damages she has done to teams. So we're quite happy about that.
Personally yourself, you got some runs against Pakistan. You were looking good in the qualifiers as well. How are you feeling about your batting going into this series?
I'm feeling quite good. Been here for a while now, and getting used to the conditions. It would be nice if, I'd played South Africa back home, just to get accustomed to their bowlers. But for me, I'm feeling quite fine.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, we have the floor open for 2 more questions from anybody else who would like to ask before we wrap it up. Yeah, Terry, go ahead.
Good day, Skipper. I'm just interested, given the lack of cricket that you and the rest of the team have had over the past few months in particular, how do you approach, from a personal perspective, staying ready, staying physically and mentally ready, and how closely do you work with the coaches in terms of putting together programs and so on to help help you maintain your fitness?
Well, when we finish when the qualifiers cut short, everyone, get a program to go back home and work with, coaches and fitness trainer there to continue the work. So when we got into the camp, it's, it wasn't a case where we were far off. It was just to get, some match practice in because we had our program where we were working on, and yeah, so it's more like, coming here and getting match practice, preparing ourselves for next month.
Thank you very much, Terry. Lennox, go ahead. You get the last question in before we wrap up.
Thank you very much. Hi, Stafanie.
Hi.
I came on late, so I don't know if this question was asked. I know the last time we played the South Africans, they beat us quite handsomely here. I mean, we have done some work, as they say, but what is the difference can we expect this time around now with this team playing them in their backyard?
I think with that series, knowing that the players play the same players, and we have footage where, we could look at and improve on our game and more personally. I think, for us, that's a plus. And, areas that, we want to improve on our game. So, I mean, South Africa is a good team. And, we're playing in the backyard. So we're going to expect that they're going to come hard at us. So I think that we have to be aggressive as well. I think probably looking back at the last, the series against them, we probably weren't that aggressive. So we probably need to be a bit more aggressive towards them.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much all for joining, and we'll send out the recording of the interview shortly. Thank you very much.
Okay, docs. So that's it. Stafanie Taylor, I should say, to be proper in South Africa. Yeah, and thanks to CW Media, Nasira, and others for that, for that video. Yeah. So the West Indies women. So, folks, if you follow in cricket, I know most times the emphasis is on, just the emphasis on the men, but the women also, the West Indies women, they also in action from on Friday. In fact, their first ODI is a day-night encounter on the 28th. Then on Monday, it's a day encounter. The second ODI. The third ODI is the day-night encounter on Thursday. That's February 3rd. And the fourth and final ODI on Sunday, which is February 6th. So, look forward to that. When there are day matches, it starts at 4 a.m. Eastern Caribbean time, 3 a.m. Jamaica, and the day-night matches actually at 8 a.m. Eastern Caribbean time, 7 a.m. Jamaica time. So, all the best to these young ladies. Well, yeah, West Indies women as they fly the regional flag. And, I know a lot of folks, when they say West Indies cricket, they tend to sometimes refer to both in most cases, the men, but forgetting that we also have the women. And, I'm a disciple of West Indies women's cricket as well. So I love watching when it's possible, when it's available, and also promoting West Indies women's cricket. By the way, I know it was sort of, intriguing, interesting for some, and surprising that the Windward Islands, they have an under 19 women's team. In fact, in St. Vincent, actually, there is a USA under 19, women's under 19 team that's actually touring and played against the Windward Islands under 19, women's under 19 team. So women's cricket taking off in the region, and let's say taking off, not that it's just started, but we're seeing more of that, and not and also streaming live as well. You know, um, so something we can look forward to. So the attention turned to the men's now. The T20 international series between West Indies and England, and on Wednesday, which is last night, it was Rovman Powell's night because he hit what they describe as a sensation century, and over England, and it was a nice victory. Although England, tried to fight back, there were some sixes in, two sixes and over, and it appears as if England was really, throwing themselves back. But Powell made 107 off 53 balls as West Indies piled up 224 for 5 off the 20 overs, the highest ever total against England, and the third highest total overall, and the highest in 7 years. Puran, that's Nicholas Puran, he also came in with a, nice half century, 70 off 43 deliveries. But it was a nice victory for West Indies. We'll hear now from the West Indies player and man of the match, Rovman Powell, as he spoke to CWI, that's Cricket West Indies media, just after the match.
Rovman, firstly, congratulations on your maiden T20 century.
Thanks, man.
What does this performance tonight mean to you?
It means a lot. For the last 6 or 7 months I had it tough, not scoring a lot of runs, and it's good for me to get an opportunity tonight, and I take it.
Do you consider this a breakthrough international performance?
I hope it's a breakthrough international performance. It's just for me now to go back to the drawing board, think about the stuff that I did right, and hopefully I can replicate it come Saturday.
If you can recall, what were your thoughts? Firstly, when the skipper told you that you will bat at 4, and then while walking out to bat?
Yeah, last night he told me that it's a possibility that I will bat 4. So I just start playing back some good innings that I did in my head. And while I did that, I come up with a game plan, and I think the game plan served me well today. When I was walking out to bat, I was confident because for the last 5 or so months I've been working hard, I've been stroking the ball good, and that confidence just transferred into the game.
And why do you think, or what was the strategy behind you batting at 4?
It was the right-hander to split up the left-hander. We didn't want Puran and Bravo as the two left-handers to be at the crease at the same time. We want a right-hander and a left-hander, and the skipper. We push the skipper down back. So I was the right-hander that slot in between Puran and Bravo.
You batted noticeably well against Adil Rashid tonight, usually struggling against wrist spin. What have you done to improve your playing of spin?
It's just doing some research. All great players of spin do 3 things. It's either they advance down the wicket, it's either they sweep, or they use the crease very well. I decide over the last few months that I will incorporate 2 of them into my game. I will start to sweep a little more, and I will advance down the wicket a little bit more, and I think that shows tonight.
You've been in exceptional hitting form since the T10 in Abu Dhabi. Do you think that format has improved your T20 game? And also just tell us a bit about the form that you're in.
Yeah, I think I'm in very, very good form. I told the guys that I sure that I'm hitting the ball one of the best in the world at the moment. And it start from T10. When I went to T10, I just went to T10 just to try to express myself. Just to express myself, catch back the eyes of the selectors, and I think I did well at T10, and now everything is coming to fruition.
And what is currently your biggest motivation to perform in the Maroon?
I think my biggest motivation is that for me as a boy, it is a boyhood dream to play for West Indies. It's just unfortunate that I'm in and out, and it's also unfortunate that playing for West Indies we haven't have a lot of victory. But not just myself, the guys are working hard in trying to change everything. So that's the biggest motivation, just to put on the maroon. Just to play for West Indies is so much passion there.
What are your thoughts on Nicholas Puran's inning tonight? How was it being on the other end from him?
I think it was fantastic. I had the best seat in the house. I had the non-striker and watching him strike it, and as you give him the strike and you see how he strike it, you get confidence from that. Trying to match him shot for shot, and that was very good.
And finally, we lead in the series now 2-1. Everything to play for on the weekend. How much are you looking forward to the end of the series?
Yeah, it's very, very important that we try our best to close it out on Saturday. We want to close it out on Saturday, ensure that Saturday we win the series, and then Sunday when everybody turn up, the atmosphere will be buzzing this weekend, and Sunday when everybody turn up, it's just for us now to just play and enjoy.
And I know I said final question, but just one more. How is it playing in front of fans again?
Listen, it's very, very good, and it's a lot of fans here in Barbados. We just want to tell all the fans thanks. Just keep supporting us. We know in the past we haven't been up to standard, but the guys are working hard, and it's just us trying to change it.
Thank you, Rovman.
Wow, yeah. It's I can, listen to Rovman Powell, over and over and over. The guy has really improved, not just in his batting and performance, but also in his delivery speech. Knowing Rovman Powell before and knowing him now, I thought it was a good interview with Rovman Powell. It was unfortunate he had to say. The only unfortunate thing is that he has been in and out of West Indies cricket. Well, and that's the nature of it at times, and it's pretty much unfortunate. He had to, as he said, he had to go and play T10, to show the various stages as well, including T10, to show the selectors, to send a message to the selectors. And it's unfortunate that he's in and out. But I like his focus. I like his temperament. I enjoyed that delivery from Rovman Powell. He's a youth man. I really like. And I thought that interview was a nice interview with him. He he delivered, as I would say. He delivered, and not just delivered on the field, but off the field as well. Because as you understood, he scored a century and brought West Indies to victory. Well, today, which referring to Thursday, the as per usual, CWI Media had a presser with Coach Phil Simmons, and Simmons spoke to the media and discussed a number of areas, including the remaining matches of the series. We have two final matches, one on Saturday and one on Sunday, so back to back at Kempston Oval as West Indies look forward to wrap up the series and a historic series victory against England. So let's join CWI Media to hear what they have to say regarding the presser with Phil Simmons and what he had to say about last night's match and the remaining two matches.
Good day, all. Thank you for joining today's post-match press conference after the third Betway T20 International between the West Indies and England, where the West Indies came out victorious and went 2-1 up in the series. As promised, today we have head coach of the West Indies team, Mr. Phil Simmons, available to speak with you. And I'm asking that if you have questions prepared, please indicate by raising your hand in the Zoom. And I am seeing one raised hand already from Brandon Corlett. Brandon, please proceed.
Hi, good afternoon, Coach. Hope all is well. Yeah, man. Let's reflect on Rovman Powell's innings. What's your assessment on his innings?
I think it was a brilliant innings. I think from the start, in the way he assessed the whole situation, how he needed to play at the beginning. It's things that we've been talking about as a group, and looking forward to seeing players bring it into fruition in a match. And yesterday he just showed that we're moving in the right direction. The players are taking on board what we're putting out there, how we want to change up things, and it just showed it was a brilliant innings at the end of the day.
For clarity's sake, Odin Smith didn't play much of a role in this series with the ball. Just shed some clarity on his exclusion from the 11 and his role in this side.
Well, we all know he's rolling inside. He's a bowler who bowls quick and he can hit the ball out of the ground. In the games where he didn't bowl, it's a situation like that. We have 7 bowlers, and unfortunately in those games he didn't bowl yesterday. Fabian Allen didn't bowl much. It's just the run of the game on the day. We needed a batsman to come in yesterday, and we made that choice because, of course, Jason and Cottrell are your main bowlers at the top there, and Shepherd has shown both with bat and ball that he's doing well, and we wanted him to continue. So that's just the situation of him being left out and Powell coming in.
All right, coach. All the best for the remaining matches.
No problem. Thank you.
Gavin Richards, followed by Ryan Bashu.
Good morning, coach.
Morning, Gav.
Okay, coach. So basically you're 1 win away from winning this series. How much would this really mean for you and for the team, to be able to knock off England, the number 1 T20 side?
I think winning series and winning tournaments and just winning on the whole is a great thing for any team. So it's something that we're happy with. But I think for me at this point in time, it's about building back that team, because at the end of the day, October is another T20 World Cup. And especially with our performances in the last one, we want to get back up to where we normally are. So for me, I'm looking at the quality of cricket we're playing and how we are improving rather than just the series win. Saturday, we win the game, we win the series. Yes, I'll be happy, but I'm happier now with the way that the players are taking on board how we want to play and moving forward.
Coach, of course, we had a disappointing World Cup. We followed that up with a disappointing series in Pakistan, Ireland after that. But what are some of the things that you're seeing being done differently? Can you pinpoint some of the things that are being done differently in this series with England?
I think the thing that has happened since World Cup, I think one of the things is our run between the wickets has improved. Guys are pushing more twos and threes. I think our assessment of the situations have improved. Yes, we were beaten in Pakistan, but at the same time, the way we batted there, we seem to be moving forward. And little things like that, our energy in the field, our bowling, where we're sticking to plans a lot longer, and players are buying into the plans and sticking to them a lot longer. So there's a few things that are improving, and we just want to continue making sure that at every game we try and improve something.
Thank you, Coach.
No problem.
Hi, Coach. Good afternoon. This is Ryan from CNC3.
Hi, Ryan.
That innings from Rovman Powell, I mean, you've seen and you've coached some really big hitters in the CPL, in the West Indies team like Chris Gale, but I just wonder, is that one of the best T20 innings from Rovman Powell that you've ever seen in your coaching career, or how high is it up on the pecking order for you?
I've seen quite a few. I've seen quite a few. It will be up there with one of the best innings. I think his assessment of the game and how he put the inning together is what, for me, puts it up there with some of the best innings. I think you just need to understand, from my point of view, that 6 to 8 months ago, even on a good wicket like this, Rovman would have had problems with what you call him, a Rashid, but he's gone away and he's done his work. And yesterday, I think for me, that made it all more pleasant to see him playing against the leg spin like that, and just his overall batting. So it's up there with some of the best I've seen.
Yeah, and just final quick one from me. Just about the transition of the team that you yourself spoke about at the beginning of this, the Ireland series, and then this series. Um, this the performances in the first three matches, winning the first one convincingly, narrowly losing the second after looking like you would lose it big time, and then a very good performance yesterday. What are you making of the transition of this T20 team after the first three matches against England? And you have to transition pretty quickly as well, because you mentioned just now there's a World Cup in October.
Well, yeah, I think the good thing about it is that a number of these players have were around last year and played. There are a number of them are playing in different leagues. For instance, quite a few of them went as net bowlers in IPL second phase in UAE. So the understanding of T20 cricket is getting better and better, but I think it's just players getting down to the brass tacks. We need to do certain things in T20 cricket, just as we are doing outside. We need to do it for West Indies, and I think the bonding and the pushing one another for places and things is creating that sort of transition as quickly as it's happening.
Good luck in closing out the series.
Thank you.
We got a Gerard Morris Seeley and then Michelle McDonald. And if we get any more indications in the meantime, we'll continue along in chronological order. We do have a little bit more time.
Thank you, Dario. Good morning, Coach. Good morning, everyone. Let me just start by saying congratulations on the win yesterday. My name is Gerard Morrisili from Sports Mats. Just wanted to ask you, Coach, in your different stints as West Indies coach, have you ever been made aware or have become aware of the victimization of any player in the West Indies setup?
Well, for me, that can happen when I'm here. You don't victimize anyone. You don't try to pull down anyone. You try to make players a person first of all and a better cricketer afterwards. I think in my coaching career and even my playing career, you look to help the man next to you, and that's one thing I've been preaching in this team, in all the teams that I've dealt with. So there's no such thing as victimization here, and there will be none as long as I'm around.
So would you say that you have been made aware of any victimization towards Odean Smith by any active West Indies player?
I think you're going on the wrong line with this, right? Let me explain something to you, and I'm saying it again. We need to stop this foolishness that we're going on with right through. All right, this team, we sit down here and we look at the best team for the day. And if Odean wasn't in the best team for the day yesterday, it's because we thought that Rovman was better suited for yesterday. So all those who want to sit out there and preach about victimization and things, they need to look within themselves. There's no victimization in selection in West Indies cricket. There's no victimization in this team in playing anyone. So we need to start stepping away from that and letting the people who are pushing this head know that that's not happening here, and I'm not going to be answering any more questions about things like that.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Coach. Congratulations. Yes, congratulations on the win yesterday. Can you say, with regards to the batting, what you worked on in practice that you saw being applied in the match yesterday?
Main thing is how we approach the game between overs 7 to 10 and trying to reduce the loss of wickets in between that period. And I think the approach between Powell and Pooran yesterday just highlighted what we've been talking about and what we've been trying to work on with the players.
And Pooran batting higher up, that's a plan going forward?
Well, it's been a plan since World Cup. And as we saw yesterday, he is understanding his role better and better. And yesterday just showed exactly how we see him controlling the innings, and his communication and control with Rovman was a big plus yesterday.
Mm-hmm. All right, and we did hear Rovman say that he recognized there was a problem playing, I think it was wrist spinners, and that he went away and did particular work on that. So for all of your players, is that something that is done where their faults are pointed out and there's a definite plan for them to address those deficiencies?
Michelle, that's coaching. That's how you work with players. They're not always with us 100% of the time. So on leaving us, they would know exactly what they have to work on. If leg spin is a problem, then you'd be given drills on how to work it out, and small things like that. If fast ball is the problem, same. So yeah, that's how coaching works with us, and that's how the players are dealt with.
Yes, so I think I'm particularly talking about when they're not within your setup and they go back to their islands.
Mm-hmm.
I know in the past there were territorial development officers, and they were also given the program or whatever technical things the players had to work on, and they were supposed to check in. Is that system still in place?
I don't know about territorial officers. I know we communicate with the franchise coaches about players. And we have different, what you call them, systems where we fill out reports about players, and it goes down to the franchises so they can see exactly what we've been doing and what we're talking about we want done with the players when they're back home.
Okay, all right. I'm looking ahead to the match on Saturday. I know we'd have one more on Sunday, but what's your message to the players about that game on Saturday? What will be your message?
The message is for us to continue improving in our situation awareness and play how we see it. The two guys out in the middle control things, and the situation controls how the two guys will play and the messages that are sent back inside. I think our improvement in batting in T20 cricket is determined by how well we assess the situations we're in. The wicket might not be as good as this one, but then we have to adjust. So I think that's the message going forward. We need to keep improving every match we play.
Okay, great. Thank you and good luck.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, we'll have Shalaze Saharoy asking the next set of questions, and we'll finish up with Joel Bailey.
Hi, Coach. First of all, congratulations and good morning. I just wanted to ask you a bit about the bubble life. I mean, you have been going from series to series, and at certain level, it might happen that staying in a bubble often affects the mindset of players. And when you face there's two important T20s, how do you deal with it? And again, the T20 series gets over and you travel through continents and reach India. So and there is very little time to adjust to different conditions and everything. So how do you keep that mental stability in players? Do you speak to them? Can you tell us a bit about that?
I think what is important is that players, number one, have a little bit of time to themselves. When I say time to themselves, they in a bubble life, you maybe can't go out of the hotel and things like that. But what we do together after you come from practice, sometimes there's team rooms and games rooms where you come together and you help one another. You play dominoes, you play cards, you play tennis, whatever. So that's a really relaxation part of it. I think the other part of it is, players having that little bit of time to themselves to relax more than anything else. But the break from it, when we get back, all right, we go straight to India and we in a ball for another 20 days or something like that. But when players get back, it is important for them to seek that time to themselves. For those who have a break, those who don't have a break, we have to look at how we help them through it. It's not an easy thing. It's not going to be an easy thing for any player who's in and out, who's in bubbles for as long as, I think for the coaches too, because we are in it more than a lot of players. The white ball players will get a break after India, but we're still in it. So you have to find your relaxation point and work out how you can deal with it. And I think that's, for some of us, that's a personal thing. For others, it's the help is there and as needed.
Thank you, and all the best, Coach.
Thank you.
Hi, good day.
We can hear you, Joe.
Yeah, you hear me? Okay, good. Hi, good afternoon. Hoping all is well. I'm going to ask two questions. I know earlier you mentioned to the Mr. from Sportsmark that you were not going along a victimization road. So I'll try to structure my questions accordingly. For the past few years, Nicholas Pooran has been the designated or number one T20 keeper on the team. And now I realize that Shea Hope has got a new role. While he has kept well, but his batting performances have left a lot to be desired. Is that something the coaches have been looking at, especially since Hope has always struggled in the regional T20, the CPL? Is that something you're looking at in terms of rejigging the top order? That's one question, and also I'll ask you another question after.
All right. I think you have two keepers, and at the end of the day, they're both two excellent fieldsmen outside a keeping. So it's just a decision was made that, you know, while both of them are here, I hope he would keep. So I don't think it could have been the other way. Pooran could have kept, but we just decided that for the series, Hope will keep and Pooran will field outside. So that's not a big thought. On the other part of it, yes, he hasn't done well, but people are getting a chance. We know that one of our main T20 batsmen is Evan Lewis, unavailable for the series and whatever. But you've got to try other people to see what happens if we don't have your main batsmen. How are we going to cope with it? And I think Shea Hope at the top there, he's done brilliantly in ODI cricket. So he's been given the chance to show how he can perform in T20 cricket. So it's not it's as simple as that. Let's put it that way.
Okay, and the second question has to do with Evan Lewis. We got the reports about the team to go to India for the ODI series, but Evan Lewis was not included. But we saw reports for Bonner and King, who have been sporadically used in the ODI format, and also Kemar Roach has been brought back after a number of years. Any reasons for that? And also, what is the situation of Evan Lewis? Is he still under COVID protocol, or is he injured or unavailable? Thank you very much.
I think when the press conference with the chief selector, you can ask those questions. I don't think it's my place to answer those questions.
No problem, but the situation of Evan Lewis, though, is he still under COVID protocol?
That comes under it.
Okay, no problem. Thanks so much for your time, and God bless.
All right.
All right, thanks, guys. Thank you for taking time out of your schedules to be here with us today. And Coach, on behalf of everyone on the Zoom, I'd like to say thank you for taking time out to answer questions. We look forward to tomorrow's engagement, which obviously I'll post in the group, and I'll send out the resources of this one at soonest possible time. And obviously we look forward to the weekend where we'll have the deciding T20 fixtures in this Betway T20 series between West Indies and England. Everyone enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks very much, Coach Phil Simmons. And thank you again, CWI Media for that. Darian Batley and others, thank you very much. So, Phil Simmons, well, should I say that? No, okay. Just to say that the final two matches scheduled for Saturday and Sunday, we have back-to-back matches at Kensington Oval. The first ball is at 4 p.m. That's Eastern Caribbean time, which is 3 p.m. Jamaica time or 3 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, and the West Indies leading the series 2-1, looking to wrap up what could be a historic series against England, a historic series win against England. So you have a date with West Indies cricket this weekend. I know folks have been bashed, a lot of West Indies cricket. Let me see what Toro is saying here. West Indies diehards like Bascom and Harold Paisady and Betty and Lazarus, and that's George McLeish, does Christian players fast, as soon as they make a century, even a fluky century. So Mr. Powell, how are we christening him? The new Sobers, the new Lara, the new Richards, Toro. I think as you heard from Rovman Powell himself, that he has been around, okay? And yeah, he went to play T10 and, at least to send a message to the selectors. And there are a lot of people who have been wondering why Powell has not been in the team for a while now, okay? And he has shown that he deserves to be on the team. And as you heard from Coach Phil Simmons, that, he was impressed with his demeanor, and he will put him among, he has seen, as he said, a lot of, centuries before, and he'll put him among the top. He'll put him among. He didn't say he'll put him at the top, but he'll put him among the top. Yeah. So that's it for West Indies cricket. Remember, the women going against South Africa on Friday. And we want to wish the women all the best, Stafanie Taylor and her girls, including our own Afi Fletcher, who is back playing West Indies cricket. Afi Fletcher is back playing West Indies cricket after maternity leave. And as, Stafanie said, give her a little time, and we'll see how she is, coming on. Yeah. So the women go on Friday, and then the men on Saturday and Sunday. So lots of cricket, in store. By the way, this is cricket, but talking about sports, if you don't mind. There's Argentina and Chile on television now. Earlier we had Brazil against, Argentina and Chile, Brazil and Uruguay. Yeah, they played to a draw. Jamaica, we have a lot of football going on now, right? Because we even have the USA playing, the USA and El Salvador at the halftime. It's 0-0. Let me get you some quick scores before we wrap up our program. And that's football, because tonight is a very important night with CONCACAF, and CONMEBOL. So Brazil and Ecuador, I said Uruguay, sorry. Brazil and Ecuador played to a 1-1 draw. Argentina is leading Chile 2-1. At halftime, USA and El Salvador, they are 0-0. And let me see the other game scheduled for tonight. I think, at halftime, Jamaica and Mexico also 0-0. Later on, we have Honduras and Canada, and there's also Costa Rica and Panama. So lots of football being played tonight. So once again, Jamaica and Mexico at halftime 0-0. USA and El Salvador also 0-0. And Argentina, they're leading Chile 2-1 earlier. Ecuador and Brazil played to a 1-1 draw. And later on, we have Honduras and Canada, and Costa Rica playing Panama. So that's it. Folks, on Saturday, we'll be speaking to Mr. Keith Joseph, and we'll be talking about the Caribbean Games, the inaugural Caribbean Games. It will be staged in Guadeloupe. Mr. Keith Joseph, along with the chair of the local organizing committee in Guadeloupe, will be speaking about the inaugural Caribbean Games. I think it's about 4-5 events that will be hosted in the inaugural Caribbean Games. So we'll be here all about that with Mr. Keith Joseph and company on Saturday. Join us at 1 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time. That's 12 o'clock Eastern time or Jamaica time. We'll be talking about the Caribbean Games, the inaugural Caribbean Games. It has been on the table for quite a while, and it appears that it's a go in 2022. It appears it's a go. Although previously we had the Caribbean Games just weeks before the Caribbean Games and it called off. Hopefully, COVID cooperate and we will have the Caribbean Games in Guadeloupe in May of 2022. Thank you. May? Yeah, I think somewhere around there. We'll get more information from Mr. Keith Joseph and company on Saturday. Thank you very much, folks, for joining us, and look forward to being your company on Saturday when we will be talking about the Caribbean Games and having Mr. Keith Joseph from the Pan American Sports Organization, PASO, and also the chair of the local organizing committee in Guadeloupe. Yeah, in Guadeloupe, Mr. Julian. He will be part of the program. Thank you very much, and see you on Saturday from 1 o'clock.